the permit phase, and now you guys are ready for the road test phase. Okay. Now the road test is probably one of the hardest tests you guys are going to take in your life so far. Okay. But that's what we're gonna talk about today. Today we got to get you ready for the CDL road test. Some fun facts: it's 2.5 hours long, and that's no joke. That's no exaggeration. Okay. 80% of the people who take this test the first time fail, and that's statewide numbers. That's people going to school, people not going to school. Right? Our passing rate's a lot better than 20%, of course, but not everybody passes. For instance, last week we had, out of 7 people who went, 5 people passed, 2 people failed. However, the week before, 2 people passed, 5 people failed. What do you think the difference is? They all went through the same training, they all went through the same course. The difference is the input that they put into the course itself. Okay? Most of the people, when it comes to the pre-trip inspection, fail on part number 1. Part number 1 is all about inspecting the truck. This is going to take 1 hour by itself. Okay? This is split into 3 subsections. The first thing that they're going to test you on, so you're going to be inside the truck. The examiner is going to come inside the truck next to you, and they're going to say, okay, please perform an external light check. What does that mean? You're going to ask the examiner for assistance. All right? So the examiner is going to be inside. You're going to be inside the truck. The examiner is going to walk inside, ask for an external light check. You're going to say, okay, can I please get your assistance? He's going to say yes. He's going to walk outside to the front of the truck. You're then going to have to check your high beams, headlights, turn signals, left and right, 4-way flashers. Okay? Now he's going to walk to the back. Left turn signal, right turn signal, 4-way flashers, and brake lights. Once you do that, completes the first portion of the test. If you do not ask the examiner to get out and look, or for your assistance, he's just going to sit in there. He's not going to do nothing, which means you're going to have to force to go in and out, in and out. No need to do that. All right? So that's step number 1. That's an easy couple points on the pre-trip that's going to help you out. All this has to do with the same portion. Second thing he's going to ask you once that's done is going to be called a cab check engine start. Okay? Cab check engine start, that's the inside inspection. So you're going to have on that air brake paper that we gave you, that on the top of that air brake test, that says in big bold letters, cab check engine start. You guys are going to complete that whole thing. So air brake test, in-cab inspection, and tug test. For those of you who don't understand yet, you will understand once we go through the course itself. Some people hear cab check, and all they hear in their mind is in-cab inspection. Don't fall into that trap. We've had some people fail because they say cab check engine start. They'll just do the in-cab inspection. They'll forget the air brake test and the tug test, and then they fail. And the examiner is not going to say, hey, do an air brake test. Make sense? So cab check engine start means the full air brake paper sheet that we give you. Now, pre-trip inspection. Pre-trip inspection, that is once you're done on the inside and you pass, then you get to move on to the outside and inspect the whole vehicle. You're only going to have to inspect, in most cases, a portion of the vehicle. It usually is never the full vehicle. All right? Okay, so we've all given you, or if you haven't gotten it yet, on your first day, we have given you this sheet over here, which is section 11. This is a script that must be memorized in order to pass this part of the test. If you do not use these words and you try to take the shortcuts, you ain't going to pass. How do you study for this thing? A few different ways people study. 1, people make flashcards, if that helps you out. 2, while they're here, they actually go use the paper. Try not to just go off the top of your head. When you're training, use the resources that we give you. And then 3, the people who really pass are the guys who really watch our videos all the time. While they're home, while they're driving in their car, whatever it is, they put it through the speaker, and they're constantly listening to it. Make sense? But to kind of give you an idea, if on your own time, you guys can go to the back page of section 11, and then it's going to give you a description on what the road test on the pre-trip is going to be about. So I'm going to read it to you guys. You are applying for a CDL, CDL. You will be required to perform one of the 4 versions of the vehicle inspection. With the vehicle you have brought to the test. Each of the 4 tests are equivalent, and you will not know which test you will be taking until the test begins. All tests includes an engine start and cab check inspection, which is a cab check engine start. Okay, and an inspection of the coupling system. Then your test may require inspection of the entire vehicle or only a portion of the vehicle. The CDL examiner will choose. So, I want to make sure you guys are clearly understanding. If you get a portion of the vehicle, which means it could be the back portion, could be the front portion, could be the middle, could be the whole thing, they're always going to inspect the coupling. Now, what does coupling mean? Coupling means anything that hooks the tractor up to the trailer. So that means in this case the fifth wheel, which is highlighted in pink in your script. Also things like the air electric lines, right? Which is blue and orange. The air electric connectors. I would even go overboard and talk about the header board. So anything that's in this section here, talk about the coupling. Understood? Good. Any questions on that so far? Good? Cool. So that's the first part. This is what fails most people. If you get through this, everything else kind of is smooth sailing from there, as long as you keep your cool and you keep understanding what you're here for. All right? So, part 2. All right. Oh, thanks. Perfect. Part 2 is all about parking. This is also going to take 1 hour to complete. Now, there is no time limit on these things. They're going to have you do 3 different parking maneuvers. Three parking skills. So, we have to teach you 6. It's going to be straight line backing, pulling up straight, backing up straight. Offset backing to the right, pull up straight, back up to the right. Offset back to the left, pull up straight, back up to the left. Also have to teach you how to parallel park, both on the driver's side and on the passenger side. And last, number 6 is alley dock. Okay? So, we have to teach you all those skills. You're going to have to do 3 of them. We don't know which 3 until you get to the test. The ones that you definitely have to do is going to be straight line back and one of the offset backs. We don't know which one, either to the right or to the left. And then the examiner gets to pick between the last 3, which is alley dock, parallel park right, parallel park left. Understood? So out of 6, you have to do 3. How this point system works, it works off a point system. So once you guys pass part 1, the slate is clean. Okay, that means you're moving on. You can also bank that test results, which means by the time you go for your next test, say you fail on this parking, you don't have to take the pre-trip again, as long as the permit is still valid. Okay? On the parking skills, it's 12 points. You fail, 11 or lower, you pass. Okay? So what does that mean? Every time you do something wrong, you're going to accumulate points. Okay? Every maneuver, except for straight line backing, allows you 2 free pull-ups and 2 get out looks. Okay? So, say you're straight line backing, that one only allows you 1 and 1 on each. But by the time you guys go for this test, you guys should be masters at straight line backing. Okay? After the free pull-ups, every time you pull up is 1 point. Which means out of 3 maneuvers, if you look at this, and you don't hit any cones or any lines, because if you hit a cone or hit a line, it's multiple points, it's not just 1 point. If you don't hit any cones or any lines, that means you're only you can pull up 11 more times after the 2 free pull-ups. Does that make sense? So, let me I got some blank faces.
For free, they'll be marked again.
Correct. Yeah. So you got straight line backing, alright? So, and then say you're going to have an offset. Offset to the right. So pull up straight, back into the right. Over here you get 1 free pull up, and one free get out and look. This should be a piece of cake for you guys by the time you guys take your test. Offset backing, say you get nervous or whatever it is. You do it, you have to pull up 2 times, say even 3 times. That means you're going to have 1 point over here. Yes? Because the 2 times are for free, the 3rd time is 1 point. Okay? And now let's say they want you to parallel park. Parallel parking, you're going to start here, got to back in over here. Okay? If they want you to parallel park, say you're messing up, you pull up twice. How many more times after the 2 free pull-ups can you still pull up if you don't hit a cone or hit a line? 10 more times. Because 11 plus 10 is, 1 plus 10 is 11, and you still pass. So if you take it understanding that and no, never hit a cone, never hit a line, you can pull up pretty much as many times as you want. Right? And if you guys can't get it in with 10 pull-ups, probably shouldn't be driving. Alright? So this is part 2. It's all on a point-based system. Of course, the examiner at the end is not going to tell you how many points you got, but you must complete all the maneuvers. You must complete all the maneuvers. For instance, say you're on parallel parking. The goal for parallel parking is that the whole vehicle's inside the box. If your vehicle is outside the box like this, and you say, hey, you're done, you fail, because that's 10 points right there. Alright? So there's certain things that we have to do. It can get complicated. We don't want to get it overcomplicated. Just understand that don't be afraid to pull up, because you have enough pull-ups. Never, never, never try to squeeze it in and hit a cone or hit a line, because then you're just hurting yourself. Okay? Any questions on part number 2? Go ahead.
To be clear, so you're saying I could have multiple pull-ups, like let's say for something as silly as offsetting?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
You can have, if you don't hit a cone or hit a line, after the 3 pull-ups, you get 11 more pull-ups.
Wow, okay.
Between all 3 maneuvers.
Okay.
So you can split this 11 up into all 3, if you guys want. But this is what usually happens. Straight line backing, guys are okay. You just back it in, no problem. Offset backing, you might get nervous or whatever it is, test day, so you might add an extra 1 or 2 points to this. So you pull up 4 times. And then on the last one, even if you pull up 2 times here, that means you can pull up 9 times over there. No problem. So don't give up. Don't get frustrated when you're doing it. Understand that you can pull up. Okay? And then comes the easiest part of the test. Part number 3, which is only about 20 to 30 minutes, is road driving. Okay. Now the only thing you guys need to know about road driving, it's like mostly on a pass-fail basis. There's a few things that are going to make you fail right off the bat. So everybody here is taking a Class A, yes? Class A or Class B, the rules are the same. Stuff that will make you fail if you don't stop at a stop sign. Okay. Now I don't mean a rolling stop. I mean physically stop the whole vehicle before the stop sign. Okay. If you run over a curb, so if you ever see the tractor trailers taking a wide turn and their tires touch the curb, you touch one curb, fail. If you stall the vehicle, if you're taking a manual transmission vehicle, you fail. If you roll back, so say you're starting on a hill and you roll back for whatever reason, you fail. Right? Other than that, unless you're stupid or running through a red light or something like that, normal stuff, you would pass. So just avoid those things. So we're talking about stalling, running over a curb, stopping at stop signs, following street rules, right? And not rolling back. If you avoid those things, you should have no issue. Now, you guys do have an option of taking the test in an automatic vehicle. The rule is if you take the test in an automatic vehicle, that means you're going to have an automatic restriction on your license, which means you cannot drive a manual transmission. Okay? If you wanted to uplift that in the future, all you would have to do is take the road portion again. You wouldn't have to go through the whole road test again. So some people, if they can't get manual that quickly, they'll go with the automatic and then they'll come back at a later time, just practice on the stick shift and then take that off their license. Okay, so that is an option for everybody here. Just make sure you let us know way in advance before your test, because it comes into a scheduling issue. So if you want to go automatic, we only put you on days that only automatic trucks go. Make sense? Cool. That takes about 20-30 minutes. And it's in this general area here, okay? And before you guys go, we'll actually take you on the exact course that you'll be taking.